Hey guys, Wes here. I'm here to answer my own thread. Sorry it took me a couple days to get my own answer up. I just got an offer this weekend to upgrade my computer and had to jump on it. It was a good offer, and so haven't really been able to record or edit anything yet. I had to completely start over from scratch as I was switching from an AMD system to an Intel system, and got to start over completely from scratch on that stuff. But anyway, I'm back up and running again with a computer, and hopefully it'll be a faster one. Should be much faster, and I'm ready to go ahead and get into this thread of mine. Let's talk about sexy. All right, so the very first question is bands or groups or artists that started in your hometown that made it big, and tell some stories. So the first artist I'm going to talk about is probably the most well-known artist from my hometown, which is Gainesville, Florida, and that's going to be Tom Petty. And he was born here, went to school here, so sort of the hometown hero sort of thing. He came back here a couple years ago and played a concert, and they made a DVD of it and everything, sort of a homecoming kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, this hometown here in Gainesville, you go to talk to any 50-something resident here that's somebody that's been here before. They all have their own Tom Petty stories, whether they played in a band with him at one time, or their brother or sister, or whoever played in a band with them, or they, whatever it is, they all have their Tom Petty stories. But actually, I don't even have anything to show you of his. I don't have any CDs or albums or anything of his. I'm not really much of a fan. I like a few of his songs, but I don't really have anything. Haven't run across any of it yet in my journeys, and it's not something I would really seek out. But Tom Petty is kind of our hometown hero as far as music goes. Another artist who isn't from Gainesville but spent the last 30 years of his life here in this area is Bo Diddley. Starting in the late 70s, he built a house out in in Hawthorne, which is about 20-25 minutes outside of Gainesville. It's just a small town. Gainesville is sort of the county seat of the county here, and we have a lot of outlying very small towns, but all the stores and stuff are here in Gainesville, so generally people who live out there work in Gainesville, or commute or whatever. But yeah, Bill Diddley built a house in Hawthorne about 30 years ago, and lived there part-time between there and I believe it was Arizona he was living in for a while. And then a little while later he moved completely and built a house in Archer, which was the last house he lived in, and he was there for about 15 years. And that's another town that's 20-25 minutes outside of Gainesville. And he often played. We have a downtown plaza, which is now called the Bo Diddley Community Plaza, but he played there often. Just sometimes it was planned. Sometimes he would just show up. They have concerts that go on down there during the spring and summer and stuff, and sometimes he would just show up and play, and it was always cool. And I got to see him play a couple times, and it was really, really awesome. But yeah, he wasn't from here, but like I said, spent most of the last 30 years of his life here, and really proud of that. So moving on to some more modern artists, we have Sister Hazel, which they had that song "All for You." I don't know if you heard it, you would probably recognize it. I mean, it was a very big hit nationally. That was unfortunately our only real big hit. But they were pretty big in the late 90s. Really cool band. I actually got to see them It's kind of funny, when this album was released, they had a CD release party at the record store next to a burger joint I used to work at. I was working at the time. They had their CD release party, and it was quite sad. It was just them sort of sitting on the floor playing acoustic, just just sitting in the music store playing acoustic. There wasn't very many people there at all. But then this went on to be a national hit for them. They did a lot of touring and whatnot. So it's kind of a rough start for this album, but it did great things for them. So it turned out well, and they're a Gainesville band, and they still play and whatnot. So that's cool. Another one you might know is ska band Less Than Jake. They're here from Gainesville also. I've seen them play many times. A lot of times around Halloween, they have they close off some streets downtown and have a big Halloween party, and they used to play there all the time. So that's when I usually got to see them is during the Halloween parties. But really cool ska music if you're into that. And one last new artist that's sort of on the verge of making it, I think, that I want to talk about anyway, is called Morning Bell. They haven't really made it big yet. They're doing a lot of touring right now. There's some good buzz. They're a really good band. I love the music. I believe you can stream all their music on their website, so I will put a link down in the show notes, so you can go there and listen to this and see if you like it. This is their latest album, Sincerely, Severely. I went to the release party for that at a local venue, and that was really fun. Picked up this CD, and it's got some great, it's just great alternative rock, I don't know, like I said, I'm not a genre person, but I think a lot of you would like this stuff. It's really good music, so check it out if you have a few minutes. Okay, so moving on to question number 2. Who is your favorite album producer? Favorite album producer, definitely for me, is Rick Rubin. Anytime I'm shopping for music and I turn the album, the CD or the record over or whatever, and see produced by Rick Rubin on it, I know it's probably something I'm gonna like. It's crazy the amount of artists he's worked with. Here's a list of some of them: just Beastie Boys, Run DMC, Slayer, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Mars Volta, Dixie Chicks, Metallica, AC/DC, Aerosmith, Weezer, Linkin Park, Mick Jagger, Rage Against the Machine, Avett Brothers, Johnny Cash. I mean, he was responsible for all those American recordings of Johnny Cash. And those are just great work, and he got some really great performance out of Johnny Cash, and just did amazing stuff. I mean, here I have an example here, and we have last two Metallica albums here. This was produced by Bob Rock, and this was produced by Rick Rubin. And this is from what everybody thinks, I think this is a much better album than this was. And the only thing, the band's the same, but Rick Rubin is the difference, I think. It's just a personal opinion, but that's what I thought about that. Like I said, just really like his work. Like when he worked with the Dixie Chicks after they had that big problem with saying that they were sad that George Bush was their president or whatever, and they came back with a vengeance, I think, and I think he got a really strong performance out of them for that album, and it actually did really well despite all the hate they were receiving. So I really like Rick Rubin as a producer, and like I said, anytime I find anything that's produced by him, I'm probably almost always going to buy it, just because I know it's probably something I'm going to like. Okay, now question number 3 about the cartridge and head shell. I'm going to go ahead and go around behind the camera and show that. Okay, so the cartridge I'm using is the Shure M97XE. It's been sort of the standard of budget audiophile cartridges since the late 70s. Um, it's, it's a really great cartridge for the money. It has really nice sound, tracks really well, just high quality all around. Sounds great. I love the way it sounds. Gives a little bit up on the high end, but it still sounds great. That's just nitpicking to say that. If you're looking for a good budget cartridge, I would definitely suggest looking into this one, the Shure M97XE. It sells on Amazon for around $60. You can get it shipped to your door, which is just a great value. The one drawback is to replace the stylus, it costs about $60, so you basically have to buy a whole new cartridge when you're ready to replace the stylus. That's the one drawback of this cartridge. But other than that, it's a great cartridge. Sounds amazing, and it's the best cartridge for that kind of money I think you're gonna find. Also, definitely wanted to talk about this head shell I use. This is the Ortophone SH4. It's the favorite head shell I've found so far. I've tried some of the other ones. This one, as you see, it has a really long pickup here, and it curves up nicely, and it's just really great. It makes cueing really easy because it's just so long. It sticks out nice and far, and it's up nice and high. The head shell itself is really light. There's not any kind of extra material here that's not needed. It's really strong. A nice thick piece of aluminum it's made out of. It comes with these gold-plated leads, so you don't have to, you get nice new leads. Just a really high quality head shell, I think. These sell for about $25. Again, you can get them on Amazon or just about anywhere else. Just the best head shell I've found so far, anyway. Like I said, particularly for this cueing lever that's nice and long. Just great. Okay, so question number 4 is about song or album titles that you like. This one turns out was harder than I thought it was, and I'm give this some thought. I'm still sure there's stuff I'm missing. I didn't really look into song titles too much, other than one in particular I really like. It's really catchy. Is Britney Spears' "If You See Me." It's just I find those kind of double entendres or whatever you want to call it hilarious. So I think that's fun. Some album titles that I like. We have this is the Notting Hill Billies, "Missing, Presumed Having a Good Time." Kind of a fun album title. Robert Plant, "The Principle of Moments." Kanye West's 808 and Heartbreak. Kind of sums up the album, and it's a cool title. Stevie Wonder, the original Musicarium. It's kind of cool, Musicarium. Moody Blues, "On the Threshold of a Dream." It's a nice title. And also, of course, I'm going to work "Days of Future Past" in there. And finally, "Licensed to Ill." That's a cool title. So moving on, question number 5, album covers that define the word sexy. Got Madonna, "True Blue." I find that sexy. I don't know. I think it's sexy. Got Diana Ross album. It's just called Diana. I think that's pretty sexy cover there. And then this Barbra Streisand, "Superman." I don't know. I find it sexy somehow. Just the whole white T-shirt, I think it's kind of sexy. Got this Meridian album. It's pretty sexy. Rhythmics album, and it's looking quite androgynous there. I do love androgynous album covers, androgynous people in general. A lot of those David Bowie and stuff like that, quite sexy as well, but I don't really have much of that stuff. Got this Little River Band Greatest Hits, just a little chick swimming off the cover there. I find it sexy. And another Madonna, Papa Don't Preach. It's John Cougar Mellencamp with just the tight jeans and the tight white t-shirt. Very hot. Scorpions, Love at First Sting. That's pretty sexy. We got Tanya Tucker album, self-titled. Yeah, it just could be a, walking along, girl looks back at you. I think it's pretty sexy. And Ice-T, he's known for his sexy album covers. That one's pretty outrageous. Even found a Sexy Pete Fountain album. There you go. Taste of Honey. Have what's up on this? You see UTFO Lethal. It's pretty sexy. And probably the most popular sexy album cover of all time, Whipped Cream, Herb Alpert and Tijuana Brass. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for everybody who's responded so far, and thank you for all those that are still planning to respond. You got a few more days before I'm going to do the drawing for the contest, if you want to be eligible for that. But otherwise, thanks again. Thanks to all my new subscribers. It's awesome. Hope to hear more from you, and see you soon. Cheers.